Welcome to the Mediabox. President Theodoros Rousopoulos, thanks for joining us. What stood out for you during this session? I'm guessing perhaps the remembrance ceremony for the Holocaust.
The remembrance of the Holocaust, it is 80 years, and we had decided to implement an innovation. We have discussed about it in the plenary, and we have invited the Chief Rabbi of Israel, who is one of the youngest survivors of concentrate campus. We had invited at the beginning of the week the Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew I. You know, love is like what we are discussing in this assembly. I'm talking about human rights. If you have love, then you respect human rights or democracy or the rule of law. Of course, it's Ukraine overall. We always discuss about Ukraine, and it was very moving the moment when I received people who were in capture for a long time in Russian jails, and especially a girl. She was captured while she was 24 years old just because she was visiting her parents. Her father is suffering from cancer, and she went to her homeland in Crimea. So she was kept in jail for 1.5 years, abused, and having nightmares, I'm afraid, for the rest of her life. Then we had a debate on Gaza, an equally important issue because the war is still there. The good news were that we have received the Belarusians in our assembly. It was the first time that they have received the status of participating in our assembly, and we welcome them. Of course, we had some days ago the so-called elections, and Mr. President of Belarus have reappointed, actually, in elections, of course, procedure himself. The highlight of the week was Georgia, and Georgia must fulfill the obligation that the state had taken when being accessed in this organization. We had ratified the credentials of the Georgian delegation by putting some restrictions. Then the Georgian delegation, because of the Georgian Prime Minister, have decided to leave the assembly. I have to say that this is not a place like a bar. You enter, you drink a beer, and you go, or you choose another spirit to drink. You have the obligation, since you are accepted, to stay in the statutory body of the assembly, and not only at the CM, for example. We work together with the Secretary General, the CM, and my colleagues in the assembly to persuade Georgians that they have to fulfill their obligation. It is not what they want to do by participating only in one body, but it is what they have to do according to what their state had agreed, accepted when being a member of this organization.
We will no doubt hear more on Georgia. What else came up in the Assembly this week? A number of big issues that have been in the headlines, social media and how to regulate it, for example.
Yes. What do you want me to say about this?
About social.
It's a big question. Do you have the time?
Well, it's a difficult balance to strike.
Yes, it is difficult. Listen, you know that I don't avoid to answer, but I take the advantage of this just to say that since last year when I was first elected, and this year I want to thank my colleagues that I was re-elected unanimously as the President of the Assembly, I have decided with my colleagues that we have to use all elements like social media for increasing visibility of the Assembly. We have to use AI, and we have implemented and we have already been exercising a new tool of AI, which is helpful to those who want to understand what we're discussing. They can just get in the website of the Council of Europe and find in 2 minutes all issues have been discussed the last 75 years in a brief way that AI can provide us. And if I may, by talking about social media and visibility of the organization, which was one of my promises last year, we had increased, and now I can proudly say that, the visibility of the organization by 60%. We have 60% more international references in social media, in classical media, and not only in Europe, but all around the world. So I believe that talking about social media, we have to be very careful if there is a danger for democracy, because there's always a danger It depends on those who are using the social media or the AI technology. But on the other hand, we have to use them in a way that is compatible to what we want to do. Just one more word, if I may. It is the 75th anniversary of the Human Rights Convention. We are going to work very hard on this. Next March, I have already invited the speakers of the parliament to participate in the meeting here in Strasbourg, and we are going to discuss all these issues that are related with our job in the Assembly.
Theodoros Rousopoulos, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.